What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Footballrs. My name's Tony, and you can follow me down below at LymanFootball. Today's video, we're going to be doing another what players wear in the NFL video. You guys have loved these so far. You've given them so much love, and we really appreciate everything you've done for them. So a couple things we'll ask off the front. Number one, we've had a ton of people request Ja'Marr Chase, Taylor Lewan, Chase Young, and we want to find out who should be next. So guys, comment that down below. Also, if you are new here, like 90% of you are right now, please go ahead and subscribe. It really helps us out a lot. So, like the video says, this one is going to be all about Chase Young. Now, in these videos, what we do is we look at all the football equipment that an NFL player wears, all the way from the top of their head, all the way down to their cleats, and we analyze as much possible to give you guys all the information. After that, links to every single product that we talk about will be in the description down below, so you can pick it up for yourself. Now, I'm pretty sure everyone in the league has heard of Chase Young by this point. He's only been in the league a couple years, a top pick in the draft, but his gear is super under the radar. And one of the main reasons it's kind of hard to find out what Chase Young is always wearing is because he is an Under Armour branded athlete. Now, it looks like Under Armour and NFL cut ties on their on-field deal. What that means is Under Armour players cannot wear anything with the Under Armour logo physically on them. So if you look at guys like Chase Young and DK Metcalf, two of Under Armour's biggest athletes at the moment, you'll actually see there is nothing Under Armour branded on their gear, and they have to take special precautions to make sure. Again, we'll talk through all that in the video. Let's start at the helmet. Now, the helmet Chase Young chooses to wear is going to be the Riddell Speedflex. Guys, it is one of the most popular helmets in the NFL by far right now. What makes it unique, you'll always tell it by the hexagon on the front. That piece flexes in and out, why it's called the Speedflex. Another interesting fact about this helmet is going to be that it comes in 3 different variations. So you have your standard Riddell Speedflex, you have your precision fit, and then you have your diamond. Now, it's really hard to tell what model they're wearing, but you can probably figure out, because they're in the NFL, they're at least wearing the Riddell Precision Fit or potentially the Diamond. Now, what's really unique about the Diamond is they actually take a 3D scan of your head, and then they use that to then 3D print out padding on the inside, so it's custom fit to your head. One of the reasons I think Chase Young might have the Diamond is you can see, because of the way his helmet sits on his head, because of all his hair and his dreads at the back, a Diamond might be something to help fit a little better for how much room he needs inside there. So we think it's that, but again, I cannot be 100% sure. However, if you do want to pick up a standard Riddell Speedflex, it is linked in the description down below. It costs you about $450 to pick one of those up. Now, the next piece of equipment on Chase Young's helmet is going to be his face mask. He doesn't rock anything custom, anything like too outlandish on his face masks. It's just a standard SF2EG-SW. Now, the 2 really important pieces of information on that code there are going to be SF stands for Speedflex, so you know it's made for the Speedflex. 2EG means it has 2 eye guards. Now, you know that face mask is always going to be in that yellow, except for when they did their throwback uniforms. And you can see with their face mask, the Washington football team also chooses to use yellow custom clips to attach their face masks. Now, another thing with the face mask I want to hit on really quick that Chase Young did this year, which I think is really cool, a really cool tribute, and it really stood out, was that for one of their games this year, Chase Young did a tribute to Sean Taylor. So you can see this is not part of his look all the time, but he did the classic Sean Taylor wrap your face mask in tape. Still a really unique look, and I do appreciate that he did homage to Sean Taylor on that day. Okay, the next piece of equipment we are going to look at on Chase Young is going to be his visor setup. So Chase has switched it up actually a good amount on us this year. We've seen him in a couple different this year and last year as well. Now, a lot of times last year he was rocking the Oakley Prizm visor. However, this year he did switch over a little bit to the Oakley Clear visor, and actually for a large part of the year he's rocked no visor. What's unique about the Oakley Prizm visor is that it has a red tint to it. That's how you can always tell, and it's supposed to basically magnify your view and make things clearer for you on the field. Think about if you have glasses. Normally the Oakley Prizm visor is sometimes an option for players to help give them better on-field vision without having to wear like sport goggles or anything like that. So for some people, it is a really good option. Now, if you do want to pick up an Oakley Prizm visor, again, it's linked down below, and it costs you $84. Outside of that, though, this year there was one game where Chase Young rocked a Oakley Clear visor, a standard Oakley visor available to any player in the NFL, and you can get outside as a consumer really easy. That'll run you $64, nothing crazy about it, it's just a clear visor. However, outside of that, you can actually see that most of the games this year, he's rocked no visor. Not quite sure if it's because of, more rain this year, like a lot of different places in North America have had, or he's just liking that he has the 2 eye guards and that's enough for him. But even without that visor on there, his setup is still super clean. Okay, the next piece of equipment on Chase Young's helmet setup is gonna be his chin strap. And I forgot, I actually have one right here. So Chase Young uses a SportStar Victory Trex Hurricane XD chin strap. Long name. So with that chin strap, what that all means is it's a SportStar chin strap. That is going to be the brand. It's by far the most popular chin strap brand in the NFL. You can always tell because it'll have that little S logo on the front of it right there. Victory stands for the model and the shape of the chin strap. Trex Hurricane talks about the padding on the inside. You can see the padding is in this hurricane shape here, how it winds around there, and the Trex is the foam on here. It is medical grade foam and antimicrobial, so it helps with like zit and acne, and you don't get as much of that stuff on your face. You can also see it does have a little cushion gel padding on the inside there. And XD stands for the depth of it. It's super big, and that's just for bigger guys that have bigger faces, bigger jaws, everything like that. This one is an XD and this one is a regular. You can just see the size difference between the two is pretty substantial. SportStar's not paying us to talk about them, but they've are the most popular in the NFL, and they've been big supporters of the channel in the past, so guys, check them out in the description down below. Now, the last piece to talk about with his SportStar chin strap is actually going to be he does not use the traditional cam lock system on his chin strap. Most of the Washington football team actually uses Speedflex adapters. All it is just a little adapter that you can put onto a Speedflex, so you can use a traditional buckle chin strap on that helmet. Really easy. It'll cost you an extra 15 bucks to add it on, and you can't really see it because the Washington football team gets them custom painted to match their helmet for the week, but you can pick them up in either black or white. So the Speedflex adapters are going to be 15 bucks, and then the chin strap itself I think is 35 bucks. Working our way down, the next thing we're going to look at is his shoulder pads. So for shoulder pads, Chase Young uses the Riddell CPK shoulder pads. These are a Riddell shoulder pad that anyone can get that are mostly made for fullbacks and linebackers. Now, I can't speak to exactly why he likes these. However, you can see they have really good range of motion in them. They're super lightweight. They're actually pretty affordable at 450 bucks, which is a lot for me and you, but for them it's basically nothing. And it could also be that he's a big fan of Riddell and likes to go with those. I don't really have a lot to add on that other sides of that, but if you want to check them out for yourself and see why he's wearing them, Riddell will have some information on their website you can check out too. Okay, working our way down, Chase Young wears no sleeves on either of his arms for almost all of his games. However, you can see on his right arm, it is fully tatted up. No tattoos on that left arm yet. He might be doing that one next. Who knows? But it is something small, and it is part of his swag. But working our way down is where you start to see the iconic parts of Chase Young's look, and that's going to be his wrist wraps and his gloves. So Chase Young does something super unique where it actually looks like he's wearing 2 casts, right? One on each hand. You can see it's fully wrapped all the way from midway up his wrist all the way onto his hand, and it looks like one unit, and it's really hard to make out what's going on there, but I was able to figure it out. So that top layer you are looking at is just a self-stick medical tape you can see on there. He does it in white or black, and that just kind of wraps around the whole thing. On the bottom layer, Chase Young wears the DonJoy Anaform Performance wrist straps. Those are the most used wrist straps in the NFL for linemen right now. You can tell it's DonJoy because of the logos and also the size of the plate. And the point of that is to help limit the movement of your wrist back and prevent any spraining or any hyperextension going this way. Probably uses it a lot for a bull rush or any kind of those movements. So he uses those DonJoy wrist straps. Those will cost you 34 bucks, but highly worth it in the long run considering how much more protection it gives you than tape. And at the same time, it'll save you money in the long term, opposed to buying a bunch of rolls of tape. Now with that, we've seen him wear 3 different models of gloves this year. One of them, which I've seen wear most often so far, has been the Under Armour Combat V or Combat 5 gloves. This is Under Armour's lineman specific glove, which we do have a review on. It has really good padding on the top, not great ventilation, but really good grip on the inside as well. However, the only drawback of those Under Armour gloves is going to be the colors. They only come in black, which I really don't like. I think they look really weird. It's just tough to see that Chase Young gets these red and yellow and these really cool pairs of gloves that aren't available to the consumer. However, if you do want to pick those up for yourself, they're going to run you about 55 bucks. So when he's rocking a lineman glove, he goes with the Under Armour Combats. when he's rocking a receiver glove sometimes underneath, he uses a less common Under Armour glove, and that's going to be the Under Armour Spotlight. You can always tell it because of the crazy webbing, kind of looks like, you know, like a Venom pattern on the back. He always wears them in a white, so it's a little bit tricky to tell, but that's when he wants to wear a receiver glove. Those are the ones he'll check out. And finally, he did it in one warm-up this year. I think I'm right on this one. I can't 100% tell, but guys, again, let me know in the comments down below if you think I'm right on this or if you think I'm misjudging these. But it looks like in this pre-game photo here, he is wearing a pair of Cutters Rev Pro 4.0 in all white. He definitely switched out of these for in-game, but it looks like in this warm-up photo, he is wearing a pair of all white Cutters. I don't know why, however, you can tell from the back of hand, the design, and you can also tell by the perforated palm. That's a dead giveaway of a Cutters glove. Now, if you want to pick up either the Under Armour or the Cutters, most receiver gloves are around 45 bucks, but either way, we'll have them linked down below as well. Working our way down, the next piece we're going to look at is going to be his thigh pad situation. Now, Chase Young does not do anything crazy for thigh pads. He doesn't do any like tread decals or any like cool designs or patterns. However, he also doesn't do those flat minimalist ones that you see a lot of players wearing now as well. Chase Young's thigh pads have a little bit more going on, but they're still super traditional, and it's just the thigh pads that have the 3 ridges on them like every player back in the 90s and early 2000s used to wear. Aside from those standard thigh pads, he also just wears some really small knee pads just because you pretty much have to. Now, another piece of gear that Chase Young rocks, and it's kind of hard to tell, and it doesn't always last all the time, so you kind of have to get the photos you can, is going to be his towel. Now, Chase Young wears a skinny towel, and he wears it off the back. He wears one of the NFL skinny towels. It's super long, it's super skinny, and they're getting more popular. Now, he wears it off the back. I'm assuming a lot of times it does just get easily ripped off, but we were able to get a couple photos of it here. Now again, you can't pick up one of these for yourself, but we did link the Grip Boost one in the description down below. The Grip Boost one is very popular as well with a lot of high school players, so it might be something you want to pick up for yourself. Okay, the next piece we're going to look at is Chase Young's tights. Now for Chase Young's tights, I'm like 98% sure he's going to be wearing a pair of Under Armour ones. However, they are full length, and he always switches up the color depending on the uniform. So we've seen him wear white tights with white pants. We've seen him wear red tights with white pants. We've seen him wear red tights with red pants. He doesn't really have a rhyme or reason to how he does it. However, he always has a full length pair of tights on, and you'll have a little bit of the Washington football team socks sticking out over top of that. Now, tights can be a little bit tricky to price because if he's wearing just like a standard pair of Under Armour compression tights for that game, it could be like 30 bucks. However, if he's wearing like the Under Armour heat gear for a colder game, it could be upwards of like 70 bucks. But there's tons of different tights out there. Either way, we'll have a couple different pairs linked for you guys down below. Okay, now the last piece of equipment is going to be his cleat. Now, Under Armour has kind of a weird cleat strategy right now where they don't really have a mid-level cleat. Now, if you're a linebacker slash DN type athlete, you're going to look for something with like a mid-level ankle support cleat. However, Under Armour does not currently offer really anything like that. They have their Under Armour Hammers, which are their lineman cleats, and then they have like their Under Armour Spotlight, their Blur Smoke MCs, and their like receiver style cleats. So nothing really that Chase Young would be looking at wearing. However, Chase Young does have a unbranded pair of Under Armour Cam Newton C1Ns. This is a mid-level ankle support cleat that they have for Chase Young right now. There's no branding on it, so it's really hard to tell. And it's also really hard to pick one of these up. You can find them on eBay and stuff for between like 150 and 200 bucks. I think they're a really clean pair of cleats, the no branded. However, I would assume in the future they should be working on some kind of maybe a Chase Young branded mid-level cleat as Cam Newton has kind of faded out of the league. I think that'd be a really good place for Chase Young to kind of take that spot and have his own signature shoe. So there you guys go. There is all the gear on Chase Young. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you have any questions about it, leave it in the comments down below. If I have anything to add, I'll pin a comment for myself as well. All the gear is linked in the description down below. Follow me for more videos like this. Subscribe as we put out 2 videos every single week. Thanks for watching, Footballers.